Those images were very typical during the Second World War. And what did we see, guys?
German anti-aircraft activity.
German anti-aircraft gun activity, that is for sure. And the German World War II anti-aircraft gun activity was all over. I mean, they protected cities, they protected airfields, they advanced with the 88s on the battlefields, but the position here needed anti-aircraft guns. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. Today, doesn't look like something important happened here, but this was actually where the Germans installed a very important World War II airfield. And around the airfield there are so many features that are still visible in the terrain, and so many different features that is part of the German structures here for protecting the airfield that they built. The flak battalions or flak crew members, they needed all the necessary infrastructure just as well as the other installments. And on this location, they show very well what was here. But we have to spool back in time. So let me show you a little overview of the area. Yes, all of that used to be here, and some is even here today. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you some of the features so you can get a little experience of how it would be to be German Franz, Wilhelm or Friedrich manning these artillery positions. Very important anti-aircraft gun positions to protect the Luftwaffe investments. You are now historical, and thank you each and every one of you for being in there for us. These super thanks donations are so appreciated, and it actually keeps us out there. So again, to each and every one of you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your very kind support.
Thank you so much, everybody on this list, for your incredible support.
Absolutely, thank you. Let's continue. Right in front of us here, that is the emplacement of the first gun crew, and I will put you into the drawing here so you can see exactly what that is. So that is exactly where that first gun was, and you can see they have full control over the area where they thought the Allies would come in to bomb the airfield. And in this way, when they have the guns all the way out at the ocean line, they could very early detect them and take them out if they tried to do some attacks. Everywhere there are special features. We are not 100% sure what this thing is or used to be. We think it could have been an antenna kind of attachment for some communication poles. The airfield is, or it is actually here even today. But the airfield that the Germans established is all the way over there. Is that right, Eagle Eyes? Yeah. Yeah, it's just about over there. That's the Rullbahn, or the runway. It's over there. So you can see they were placed a couple of kilometers away from the actual airfield. But again, they did that because of one thing, strategically very importantly placed here in the terrain. So suddenly here you can see there's a cutout. Everything here is sand dunes, so it was easy for the Germans to construct the things and then afterwards try to hide it. And why did they try to hide? Well, this is the first feature. This is a Regelbau, and I do think it's a Regelbau to either store munition or to have crew shelter. It could also have been a position for the communication crews that was here. Very important to have communication going back and forth between the different installments here. But let us check this out. There are like, seems like only 2 rooms. We have some kind of gear or something laying on the floor. So this is just a tiny little room. Oh, I guess there could have been a bunker oven there, you guys, huh? Yeah, it looks like there could have been a bunker oven there. And then you see it just, you can enter the second room. That is not too often to see that there are 2 rooms like this. And let me see, yeah, there's another little position. And I'm suspecting this could have been actually a guard position, because if they had bunker ovens, they needed to heat it up for the crews. Wow, very cool. And you can see a tiny little window here where the the crew could fire out the side, because you can see the walls are slanted to the right like this, so you can go like very cool. Okay, let's continue. There you are, Eagle Eyes found it. This is a underground shelter, and there are actually several of these which aren't here anymore. They are actually underground, but they're fully covered, so you cannot see them. And some of them are maybe not to be seen at any time in the future. So this thing here is just a, let me see, put the flashlight on here. You can see it's got this tiny little, I don't know, window in the back. You can see the metal structure in the roof with some wood. And then again, the opening here. So this is where Franz and Wilhelm and Karl, they all used this for whatever purpose they needed it for. And you can see even there could have been a very hefty door here, because there are some cast-ins. Can you see these? These are cast-ins to have some huge hinges and doors down here. And I'm guessing there was maybe a door once, but there is nothing here now. So you can see they used rocks, they used concrete, mixed it together, and then sometimes they had canvas on top of the entrance, and then you actually couldn't see it. So it was very, very well camouflaged. Eagle Eye is leading way. We are heading over to what we think was a 20mm anti-aircraft gun, and that was mostly to protect the anti-aircraft gun location. Not so much to get the aircraft, of course they would do that, but they could actually protect the gun crews from being attacked by allies strafing in the area. Here it is. It's not easy to see, but you can definitely see this area here was secondary munition storage out in the fields. And then you have the entrance where the soldiers came up here, and then boom, this is the position where the 20mm was. Just down here, there is something really exciting. So let's go down there. So here you can see the trench system, extensive trench system going around, and then you just figure out there's nothing here. Where did the crew stay, or where did they sleep, all of that? Well, believe me, it's just down here. So let's go to the front side and check that out. See that? This is a very special feature. This is almost a fully buried German crew barrack, but it's made in stone and rock and concrete and bricks, and that is pretty cool. Let's go and have a look inside. You coming, Eagle Eyes? And here you can see some of the wood and the interior details like insulation, all of that. It is still here. Look at that. All of that was built by the Germans, for the Germans, and it's even here today. That is a 200-liter fuel drum barrel used by the Germans. Very often the Luftwaffe were supplying them. And you can see here, everything is made out of rocks, some kind of concrete, and the huge beams in the roof. And right there, that is where the bunker oven used to be. And you can see if we come in here, Eagle Eyes is chasing a rabbit or whatever he saw. You can see here, it's a pretty big structure. But look at the logs up there. They're almost like brand new. See that? Just shows you that it really worked. They really did it so good. So what they did, they put on logs, they put on some paper bags or some things like that, and then they poured concrete on top of that, and then the soil and all of that. And then they insulated the roof. You see that? So these beams are, at some of these, in very good condition, but at others they are completely gone and rotten away. So you have 200-liter fuel drum barrel, building material, and even the electronic connection. One of them are up there on the wall. So this is where Hans Wilhelm, Friedrich, Juna, Andreas, all of them, they came and they served here and they stayed in here. Would you have stayed in here? Let me know in the comment. What would you feel about standing up in the morning, waking up, and all you do is go out there and you man this flak gun. And what you do when you come back, maybe you put your boots there, and then you enter here this warm little thing. But I wonder what's the health situation for soldiers staying in here for extended period of time. That I'm not sure whether that was good at all. But let me know, would you stay here? Yeah. What did you say, guys?
That this one here can actually fall down.
Yeah, he just peeked inside and he said we won't go inside because the roof is coming down. It's a much smaller structure, so maybe it was a storage or something. Very, very cool. So you have anti-aircraft gun position, 20mm position, you have huge barrack there. This structure here, there is more. So let's go. So what is it, guys?
Narrow railroad track wagon.
It's a narrow railroad track wagon chassis. This thing was the most important tool that the Germans had to build all of this, because they had to transport sand and concrete from miles away over there. And we're going to share with you a very special location where the Germans actually created the concrete and smashed up the rocks to make sand. Because this thing here was to transport all of that kilometers around in the terrain here. Let me show you an image of what that looks like when it's in use. Yep, and I feel very sad when I see this wagon laying around here. It should most definitely have been taken by a museum or something, because it is such a very special detail, because this is very often a tool for the prisoners of war. And you know, that is a symbol of the hard work that was put in here. And it should definitely be at another place than this, but it is very rare to find something like this laying around in nature, like you see here. And to think that that thing took actually part in building all of this, that makes it very special. And again, it should never have been just there, but we just so much wanted you to see that, because that's another part or another side of what took place at the installations that the Germans built, because someone had to build them. Yeah, Eagle Eye said this is the second, and I do think, what was here you said? Here?
Huge anti-aircraft gun.
Huge anti-aircraft guns, that's correct. So this is basically what you see in the image here. And we're not quite sure what is going on there, because it seems like they're cutting down a lot of forest to have room for the cows or whatever. And in that same procedure, they just fill up everything. And then that's the reason why you cannot see any of the bunkers here, because there are two fully buried bunkers here and we cannot see any of them. So the farmers here are kind of just erasing out and removing all traces of the activity here. That was the airfield, actually still is today. And you can see here some mounds and stuff. But what happens when you turn around? Let me show you what happens. See here? There's this massive construction underground here. And I mean massive. It is so huge that it's almost incomprehensible to say that. Why? Well, that's because there was a lot of crew members here and they had to protect them and have a place for them to sleep. So the guns are just about there where the tree line is, and the crews were staying here. But you can see there's something going on there. There's an opening there. There's a windows thing here. There's a window thing here. Even a window here. But there's something absolutely spectacular there. So where do we start, Igor? Should we start with the underground?
No, there.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Eagle Eye decided that this is where we want to try and enter. So that's going to be exciting. It is so windy here today, but we are so lucky. Just a few weeks ago, there was 15 centimeters snow here and -7. So very happy that that has gone away. Oh my goodness. This doesn't look just as good as the other one. So let's go down and have a look at it. But I think this place is huge. Oh, it's a separate room, Eagle Eyes. There you can see the technique. See that? They use some kind of... Is that paper?
paper.
I always want to say parachute material, but I think it's paper. And then they cast on top of that. So first they put the logs on top, and then they put down a lot of paper so that the concrete doesn't seep through. And then they pour the concrete, and then you have your roof. So this is just a secondary room on the side here. Let's see if we can enter the main structure. All right, we think the farmers might have used this for some kind of sheep arrangement or something. So what we're going to do is going to see if we can enter this. Wow, okay, I see. Let's see if we can enter this building. Yeah, there's a lot of sheep stuff going on inside here. But you can definitely see the huge windows they had, you guys, huh? Huge windows.
Pretty big.
Yeah, and then you can see here, there is the end of the room. Let's check it out. So today, sheeps, a few years ago, well, many years ago, Germans stayed here. If you come here, you guys, you can go behind me and we'll try and see if we can get the rest. But the outside there is the separate room. Again, there was a fire here. Can you see that?
Jesus.
There was actually a fire here on the roof. Huge opening there. And then, look at that. That is massive. So all of these soldiers, they considered this as their home. Maybe you should go first, Eagle Eye, so you can open the gate there. And you shut it after me when I come through. But all of them considered this as their house. And that is pretty remarkable when you see how crude this thing is built. I mean, again, would you have built or lived in this? Wow.
No.
It is absolutely crazy to see this thing here. Should have been without all the sheep stuff, but you do get the picture of the German soldiers here. Maybe even having their bunks here and staying here, sleeping here. That must have been something special, huh? And then you can see it continues over to the second room. And you have, oh, there are two more rooms. Can you open this one, Eagle Eyes? Let's go inside.
Oh, there's more sheep area.
Yeah, wow. This is massive. I mean, hundreds of square meters. And I wonder how many guys were in here. And here you can see those huge, huge logs in the roof there. It's built very, very traditional. And you can see they kind of improved the structure strength by these steel things they hammered into it to keep it upright. And again, you can see the insulation. And that proves to us that the Germans, they were actually staying and sleeping and doing their stuff here. Maybe they even cooked food. Maybe one of the rooms here were the kitchen, who knows? And maybe one of them were where they slept and one of them were maybe toilet, I'm not sure. And I think that is exactly where there was a bunker oven once. So I'm tempted to say that this was exactly where the German troops slept. But there is something really special up there that we wanted to share with you. And that was something that we never thought would be right here. Nevertheless, it's up here. But we're going to take you down and check out this room as well. If this was like a smelling video, the stench here of all of this stuff on the floor is just unbearable. Oh my goodness, you should be happy that you're not feeling this. Eagle Eye just said, it smells like dead. Wow. Again, you can see here, definitely they had a bunker oven with ventilation here. So there's a smaller room in everyone, and in each one of them, and there's a bigger room. I'm tempted to say that this could have been some kind of a bath washing room, and this was the sleeping quarter.
Big room.
But it is really, really crazy to think that the Germans actually slept in here. I would never, never be able to sleep in a place like this because, you know, what we are used to normally, but they were not used to anything less than this. So, amazing stuff. So what we have here then, there's just this little thing here. But let's go to the top and see what I mentioned earlier. Eli said, I wonder how old that tree is. Well, it's actually easy to figure that out because when the Germans were here in the 40s, that wasn't there. So it must have grown all the way since the 40s and now it's here. So you can do the math. So this here is actually built on the side of the barrack, and it's a anti-aircraft gun position right here, because this is where they had the munition. This is like a munition pocket. So this area where we're standing next to the barrack is actually one of the gun positions. Let's go up there and check it from the other side. Here you can see it. I'm going to show you exactly on our little figure here. So you have anti-aircraft gun position in the middle of the barrack area. That is pretty strange. Just imagine how quickly that crew could come up from here, run up here, man that gun, and fire away.
30 seconds.
Yeah, maybe 30 seconds and they'll be ready to go. So absolutely spectacular. On the outside here, right here, there used to be a huge storage facility or building. It's not there anymore. It's been torn down many, many years ago. So I think that this is such an incredible place to see because of these details, because it's so rare that you can walk straight into one of these barracks, underground barracks, check out the conditions, and even to see the anti-aircraft gun there position was just amazing. That was what it was all about, guns. And if you want to help us out to reach more incredible locations as you saw here, we have this little super thanks feature here. Basically your opportunity to help us out to get some gasoline into the fuel tank. Go out and share even more incredible videos with you. We have more than 600 videos out there. It's more than enough for you to enjoy, and I think you'll find whatever you like in our little library of videos on our YouTube channel. Much more projects coming up. Doing some research for a journey that we're going to do later, and as well I have this very special hunt that we are going to attempt to do together with my daughter, who also runs a very interesting exploring channel. I'll put a link to her channel in the video description. Basically she does stuff like this.
So this is the Czechoslovakian tank turret. I want to show you all some fake farmhouses, gun positions.
Absolutely cool. So if you want to check her out, and well, there's a lot of stuff there for you to enjoy. Nevertheless, what an exciting place it was. Very nice to see the features that are still there. Time goes by, farmers cover up stuff, and suddenly they're gone. So it's important to go out and find and share these incredible locations with all of you. All right, enough for me. I think I'll meet you later in another explore. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting, and before you know it, there will be more history shared. Bye bye.